Hello everybody, welcome back to Brian's Art of Creation, and this week I wanted to drive you guys with coming up with some goals, ideas, and things that you want to go after and really getting super detailed about them. And that way you'll get the ball rolling just by the fact of you understanding exactly where you want to be and where you want to go. You'll start noticing a lot of things happening towards that. So what I mean by that is, I'm not exactly sure the scientific terms and everything about it, but your mind chooses to focus on certain things. Walking around and, just going through life, there's just so many distractions out there. Whether, back in old times, you heard a lion roar, and you knew that meant to run or to try to fight or get away. You knew that meant danger. Now there's just so many different things, and it's not so black and white. You got notifications on your phone, whether it's for text messages or for Facebook notifications or an actual phone call. And then you look at the phone and, you got spam and you got people calling. You have all these noises outside from cars and from the street. When you're walking, just the sound of your steps on the road. You got people walking past. You got people playing music. You have, there's an unlimited list, right? If your mind tried to take all of that in and focus on all of that at once, it would overload and just crap out. So there's certain systems in your mind that decide what to focus on, what's important, and what isn't important. And a perfect example of this is, how many of you guys went out and when you got a new car, you were like, I'm going to get something that nobody else has or that I haven't seen a whole bunch of. And then somehow, right after you buy that new car, you notice that everybody else has it. You don't know where the hell they came from. You're like, I never saw this car before until I actually went to the lot, but now I see it on the road all the time. And the reason is because it wasn't important enough to worry about before. But now that you chose to invest and purchase this car, now all of a sudden your mind says, okay, that car is important. So every single one that goes by, you notice now. That's you focusing on things that are important. So think about if you decided and really went into details on your goals and some of the things that you want to accomplish, you would start noticing things that might not be 100% there, but could lead you towards things, or certain things that might be able to help out along the way. It goes the same thing with what I told you about art and learning different classes, even if they're not directly related to what you're going after. Like me growing up, I did a lot of drawing, which learning the anatomy there helped me in my sculptures. Doing the airbrush and doing t-shirts and illustration type of stuff taught me the techniques that I needed so that I could paint my masks and my busts. So everything kind of relates. And you can look at your job that way as well and say, all right, well, I'm just a server, it's just a job, it's not what I'm passionate about. But how can I think about it in a way that'll make it a lot better for me? Well, I'm talking to guests, I'm trying to push different entrees, different products, and I'm learning how to talk to guests a little bit better and how to talk to them in a non-selling but getting them to be interested in the things that I have to offer. And basically just getting better with people and how to deal with people. And that could be something that'll help you in your brand a little longer down the road. Or if you're a manager in a job, you're learning techniques on leadership and how to deal with customers as well as employees, how to lead people the best way to kind of influence them and get them to want to work the way that you want, as well as dealing with guests, both happy and the ones that are upset, and how to fix things. So if you look at it that way, those are certain aspects that you should take in as important that can lead you, or that you can use later on down the road in your life, in your goal, in the things that you're going after. Another great example that I heard was from a couple of the Tony Robbins speeches that I heard, and he goes through this example like this. So if you're in a new place, it works best if you're in a new place because you're not so in tune to everything and you don't have everything in your mind. But you can do it in your room or somewhere that you know. But basically, take a minute and look around your room, all around, and notice everything in your room that's brown. You take it in, you take like 60 seconds, look around, find everything that's brown, and just really try to hold on to that, right? Then go ahead and close your eyes while you're holding in all that information that you just took in, everything that's brown, everything that's brown. And I want you to recall everything that's red. When you do that, it kind of throws a little loop to your mind because that's not what you were focusing on. So all that stuff you didn't even pay attention to. However, after you open your eyes and I tell you to look and tell me everything that's red, you have a new understanding and you start taking in everything. So you start taking in things that are pink and say they're just a little bit red. It's red and white, right? Or I'm going to take in that thing that's maroon. That's really red and brown, but you know what? I'm just going to call it red so that I can feel like I found something, so that I can add something else to my list. And the thing that I'm getting at is what I just kind of talked about with all the other ideas with, you know, going after those art classes, even if it's not something directly in there, because even though that's a maroon color and what I'm going after is red, I can extract that red, which is those few techniques that I'm going to use in, you know, my art or my craft, and I just can discard all the brown stuff out of there. If any of that doesn't really matter or relate, I don't have to hold on to that. I can just make sure that I grasp onto that red section and I use it towards something in the future and towards what I'm going after. And I got one last goal, one more example for you guys for goal setting and figuring out exactly what you want to go after and getting detailed about it. So take a minute and just kind of follow along with me. I'm out of Delaware, okay? And let's say that my destination, my goal is New York City. So in order to get there, I have to drive north through the turnpike and everything through New Jersey, and then that'll go straight to New York, and then I'll take all the roads to go to New York City. Now, that is where I want to end up. That's my destination, my goal. It's detailed in there. I know exactly how to get there. Now, on my way, I take a little break and I find a really nice place in New Jersey. It's a really nice campsite, a really nice view, or just a really nice atmosphere. And when I go there and see it, it's like one of those places that isn't a touristy place. So it's not like overloaded and flooded, but it's just one of those beautiful places that not many people know of. And I just instantly fall in love with it. That becomes a new dream. And it isn't saying that I was wrong for trying to go for New York City. It's saying that it took time to get to New York. And I've grown as I was traveling. Therefore, certain things that you want to do in your life in the next few, over the few years, they'll start shifting and new things will start happening or appearing, and you may make changes or slight alterations to where you're going to go in a slightly new direction. That's happened for me. I was doing a lot of the horror and art stuff, and I was looking for new outlets and doing, model kits and things like that, or even starting out from my airbrushing. And now I've kind of settled more, and still having my, all that horror and model kit stuff helped me to develop the style that I have. However, being able to work with kids and doing things for families and being able to reach out in that way has added on a new area that I would have never even thought of. As well as, I've always liked helping people and teaching people, how to create and how to, put their creativity out there. However, I never really understood a long time ago, the level of what I enjoy doing, of how much I actually enjoy doing that. And it took me going down that road to figure that out. So that place in Jersey, it's not a failure, or it's not me giving up on my other thing. It's me growing as a person and figuring out, wow, this is something that's really amazing that I never even knew about. And I like it so much more than actually doing, going to New York. My mentor Noah talked about this. He was like, he loves music and he loves DJing, and it was one of his passions. So he decided to go. He says date your passions, and then figure out which ones you actually want to marry. So he was dating his DJing. He did a few big gigs and some parties and things like that. And he was like, I still love it, but man, I don't want to do this every night or every week for the rest of my life. I enjoy doing it once in a while. But it isn't something I want to constantly do. It's not something I want to build a business or a brand around. But he would have never known that unless he actually went out and did it. So the bottom line here is that I did change up my dreams, and I did shift because I wanted to go to, this brand new area or career path or whatever in Jersey. However, if I didn't set my goals and set my passions and figure out in detail exactly where I wanted to go and how I was going to get there, I would still be in Delaware dreaming about New York. I would have never actually found that amazing place that I'm supposed to be in Jersey. I would still be in Delaware. I wouldn't have even started to trek towards New York City. And if I didn't take the trek to New York City, I wouldn't have found it, right? So, a few nuggets for you guys. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If there's anything you're struggling with, you're trying to fight through, you need help with, let me know what you guys think of these videos, what you guys think of this one. If you guys have any other ideas on things that you guys do that really helps you out, I'd love to hear. And thank you guys for watching. Figure out those dreams, put them into detail, write them down, and look at them every single day. And you guys are going to do amazing things. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week.